Alright, let's get started with our first chapter, and our first chapter is going to be all about matching values. Okay, so let's get started, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to build up slowly. And what materials am I using first and foremost? I'm using the Cola Erase pencil, which I'm sure you guys have seen me draw with many times before, and I'm working on Dessen paper. That's the name of the pad. The company is Canson, and the weight of the paper is 70 pounds. Okay, there is some texture to the paper which will kind of have an effect on our grayscale. It won't look exactly like this because of the texture, but we'll do our best here. So pretty much what I want to do is just lay out our values in a rough way first, okay, and then I'm going to gradually build them up. Now these two values are the easiest. You just, plow it in. Actually, this is my first time drawing this morning, so this is actually killing my hand pressing down really hard on this Cola Erase. Now, you could do this in any pencil that you choose. You can do it in a 2B, and you can do it in an HB. I would stay away from pure H's. Okay, so that's fine for there. Now, let's... Now, why is this so important? Why is this so important? This is so important because everything, if you're going to do a drawing that involves shading, and I even teach value in my line class when I teach line quality, everything that you do is going to involve values. Okay, now let's say you want to be a traditional painter, and you want to do a portrait painting of somebody, and you want to do it a likeness of them. Well, maybe you would want to be able to match the values of the person's skin tone, so you really get it to look like them. On the other hand, let's say you wanted to be an illustrator, okay, and in your book cover you had to control where I look first, second, and third because you want the viewer of the book cover to look at the main character first. Well, then you're going to be able to manipulate, you're going to want to be able to manipulate values, but you cannot manipulate them until you first learn how to match them. And so that's why I start this whole cast drawing project off with this sequence of the matching of the values, and that's why I really want you all to do this for an action item for your first assignment, because this is where it all starts. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and you want to do the same thing here. You want to kind of squint at the value, okay? This needs to be much darker, and by squinting at it you can see very quickly if it's matching or it's not matching. Now again, I'm dealing with texture on the paper here. If I was working with paint, this would be a whole lot faster and a whole lot easier. I believe it would be easier. Let's come on down now, and let's just, this is too light, this value 5 that I have. Now this is not the most exciting video. I know it's not, trust me, but I think it's the most important video on this whole cast drawing project, because the problem that I see, it's not really a problem, but it's just something that frustrates a lot of artists. Let's say there's some artist who uploads some drawings on drawingtutorialsonline.com in the members art gallery, and I look at the drawing and I'll see, I can see what they're seeing, almost like they're looking at a piece of photo reference, and then maybe they might press a little bit too hard on a line underneath the eye, or maybe they'll press a little bit too hard on a line underneath the nose, and so they really have the wrong value in the wrong place. And it's just because they haven't gone through this process, and they're not conscious of the fact that you have all these different shades of gray, or values, however you want to term it. Now let's step back for a minute and take a peek at this, and if I squint at it, I'm looking at it both here and I'm looking at it on my video screen, my computer screen, and it looks okay. This still to me is a tad light, and this one's bothering me the most because of the texture of the paper. So let me see what happens now when I really... Now this Cola Erase is not the optimum pencil to be doing this with. With the Cola Erase, everything just takes a whole lot longer, and that's actually the reason why I like it. I like it because it's a gradual build-up. Okay, and I think things look better when you gradually build them up. Now, that's a personal choice. I know there are some students of mine that absolutely hate the Kohl Erase pencil, and they don't like it at all, and they swear by, mechanical pencils, and I'm cool with that. I like mechanical pencils, but again, let me reiterate this because I think this is one of the most important points. You do not want to do this exercise with more than one pencil. If you do, you're kind of defeating the purpose. A big part of this, yes, is matching values and being able to do it on shapes of the figure or anything that you're going to draw with light and shade. But the second thing is that this is a great exercise to start to control your fingers and your wrist. So you're in a little bit more control, and all of the finesse doesn't happen with the tools. The finesse happens with you and your hands and your touch, so to speak. So that's why I want you to do it with one pencil. So let me just push down a little bit harder. We're going to come back to this and we'll refine it. But that's not bad. Again, I'm squinting. This is a little light.